P is campaign financing. This is extremely important. Who's putting up the money for and against these initiatives? And so, as I pointed out earlier, in the constitutional amendment, money can only come from a natural person, cannot come from any kind of organized group, which generally is organized as a limited liability corporation. So they have limited liability, otherwise they could be sued. So it only can come from a human being. Now, keep in mind that if there is, this is not followed, keep in mind what I have here in the law. Violation of these prohibitions is a felony punishable by not more than 1 year in prison, or a fine not to exceed $1,000, or both per instance applied to each person found guilty of the violation. This is serious, and it's made serious intentionally. All you got to do is put one of these people in jail who violate this, and you'll see that you'll clean up this process big time. Q, financial disclosure. Obviously, there'll be extensive reporting of with respect to people who support and oppose initiatives. And the same penalties will exist, that is, a year in jail, $100,000 fine for each individual who commits the felony in question. And now, keep in mind, this sum of money and this amount of time in jail may be relevant right now. It may not be relevant 10 years from now or 50 years from now. Any one of these things can be amended by the people, and it may make the Electoral Trust, it can't change this, but the Electoral Trust may make recommendations to the people to make changes based upon their experience. But this is the law. The Electoral Trust can't change the law, but they can, based upon their experiences, make recommendations to the people to enact changes to this particular law that would be enacted by the people. Next we come to Section 4. Now we've just gone through the first 3 sections of the Democracy Act. Section 4 deals entirely with the Electoral Trust. And so first is the definition of the Electoral Trust, which is self-evident. It has a director, the trustees, and what it's supposed to do in using contemporary technology, which is things that I covered before in the constitutional amendment. The mission is outlined in, that is, to serve the people and to administer the procedures that I've outlined before. The Board of Trustees, and that is, it's to establish the policy for the trust and to perform oversight of these procedures and the implementation of these procedures. The membership, it's the 50 states plus the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, and the territories of the United States. So essentially, everybody under the American flag is represented on the Board of Trustees. And the term of office, as I stated, is staggered, but it's 4 years per person, and it's term limited. You only serve 1 4-year term. Removal of there's a process for removing members of the Board of Trustees, and it would take a 3/4 votes of the full membership of the Board of Trustees to remove a member of the Board of Trustees for whatever reason. You could conceive of any possible thing. When there's a vacancy, it would be filled by a majority of the Board of Trustees. So it would take 3/4 to remove a member of the Board of Trustees. That's 3/4 of the Board of Trustees, but it would take a simple majority to fill a member of the Board of Trustees. And the meetings would be held annually or at such times as they felt they needed to convene to deal with policy matters.